Mark Armbrecht is the vice president of the North Central Florida Blues Society. He has been a professional musician playing electric bass guitar since the age of 15. His career has included club work, show bands, worldwide touring, radio, TV, and studio work in Pittsburgh, Nashville, Detroit, and New York. In 1971, he graduated from West Liberty University with a bachelor's degree in music. Upon graduating, he established a successful private teaching practice, offering instruction for trumpet and electric bass. He has been a member in good standing of the American Federation of Musicians Union, Local 142, since 1967. In 1975, Mark was hired to play a recording session for a wonderful young female singer. The two were married 39 years ago, and Mark and Barbara Armbrecht continue to work together, currently as the blues Americana duo Middle Ground. Recently, Mark signed on with the Bridget Kelly Band and also works with the Root Redemption Band. He hosts acoustic blues open mic nights for the Blues Society each month at Simplify Coffee in Gainesville. Mark is active in the Gainesville arts community, and he has a metal sculpture studio on Northeast 23rd Avenue and exhibits his work in local and regional galleries. Last year, he was appointed to the Gainesville-Alachua County Cultural Affairs Board. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you. Hello.
Well, it's so nice to see you, and please say hi to Barbara for me.
Certainly will.
We're here today to talk about the Blues Society. We have the Alachua County Commission funds several arts organizations, nonprofit arts organizations, through the bed tax. And in addition to some of the kind of government programming that we do and interviews that we do, we thought it would be interesting for our viewers to reach out to some of the nonprofits that our commission works with, and here you are.
Yeah.
How did you come to be involved in the local blues community? I mean, I know your career spans an incredible breadth of experience, but how did you get involved here?
We moved here to Gainesville almost 10 years ago. And when we came into town, we knew no one. And I wanted to continue my music career at some level. I had had some separations up north that left some scars, but I got down here. I said, well, nobody knows me here, so we'll just try over again. So I began shaking hands and going to jams. And I was invited to attend one of the monthly jams that the Blues Society has. And I went in there and I listened for a while, and I thought, why am I not playing blues? I really love this music, and it's the roots of everything. So I attended a jam, played a couple sit-ins, met some people, and discovered the people in the blues community, the people in the music community in Gainesville are just wonderful people, and they were so welcoming. And they just reach out and say, come on, get involved.
So what is the Blues Society? I mean, it's a nonprofit, right?
It's a nonprofit organization, North Central Florida Blues Society.
And tell me a little bit more about the organization itself. What is its mission?
Its mission is to promote, to educate, to continue the blues tradition. You know, the blues, and I'll refer to it as the Delta blues, really is the foundation of any music that's been developed, grown in this country.
Now, are we talking about W.C. Handy here, or further back than that?
We're talking a little bit before W.C. Handy, but
turn of the century?
Right before the turn of the century, okay. In the delta of the Mississippi. And oftentimes when we hear delta of the Mississippi, we automatically think of the delta down in New Orleans. No, this was a section of fertile ground on the east bank of the Mississippi. Essentially, they always say, from the lobby of the Peabody Motel or Hotel in Memphis to Vicksburg, Catfish Row in Vicksburg. And that section of land, about 60 miles east of the Mississippi, is very fertile land, and that's where all the plantations and all the farms were. And of course, that's where the African American workers were, and that's where the blues began. And so it's taken from there.
When did the North Central Florida Blues Society get started?
It began informally in 2003.
Uh-huh.
It became a nonprofit organization in 2004 and has grown steadily since then. In 2005, the society began bringing in national acts for concerts. We now do at least 4 concerts a year, plus we provide a free concert the Friday, the beginnings of the Downtown Arts Festival.
Now let's talk about the other show. I love the Arts Festival
Yeah.
gig that you all do. It's always great. But what about the other shows? Is this a traveling show? Do you use the same venue all the time?
Right now we're using the High Dive on Southwest 2nd Avenue.
That has pretty big capacity.
They have a pretty good capacity. They have a wonderful sound system, and they're very good to us. And we're bringing in national acts at least 4 times a year. And in fact, I think we're a little ahead of schedule this year, as a matter of fact.
You know, depending on when this show runs, what I'm about to ask you may be relevant or not. But do you know? Can you tell us what's coming up in terms of those acts? Or do you have that information at your fingertips?
At the High Dive, August 2nd, we're bringing in Jeff Jensen. And Jeff is an indie blues performer, very high energy. It's going to be a great show. On another side of the blues, the acoustic side of the blues, July 18th, we're bringing in Dr. David Evans, and he's going to perform at Simplify. And Dr. Evans is an ethnomusicologist, University of Memphis, tremendous fingerstyle acoustic performer, and he's going to do a performance at Simplify on Saturday evening, and then Sunday, he's going to do a workshop at our home.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it'll be a lecture and playing workshop.
So do most of the performers that you bring in, are they involved with more than just the performance? Do they take time to sit down with you all or to talkbacks? Or
the majority of the people in the blues community are very warm and offering to, all sit down and just kick it over a little bit, or sometimes you even luck out and sit down and do a little jamming afterwards,
you always have that bass nearby?
Try to keep one somewhere. Yeah, you just never know,
And how long have you all been doing the Downtown Festival thing?
I believe it began before I was involved with the society. I believe it began in 2006, but I'm not sure about that. It's been quite a while, and we pick up the ticket on that, and we provide the entertainment for that Friday evening. We always have, of course, have a warm-up act, and the warm-up act is usually the band who has participated in our regional competition.
Yes.
And they're the winners of that competition, and they go up to Memphis in January to perform in the international competition. And it's truly international. It really is.
I want to talk about that competition more, but I also wanted to ask you about the blues in the school portion of what you do. I think that's fantastic.
The Blues in the Schools program it originated with the International Society. There are people all over the country participating in this program. We're indeed, just what it says, we're taking blues music into the schools. I could get on my soapbox a little bit about the way arts and music are being taken out of the schools, but we're not going to go there.
No, you're doing about it, it sounds like.
That's what we're doing. And here in Gainesville, with the North Central Florida Blues Society, Barbara, my wife, is she's the mover and shaker of that program. She's taking it into primarily the public schools. She's been doing some private schools. She's also been taking some programs into the Hippodrome, working with the children in the summer theater camps. And I believe Monday, the 6th of July, we're going to go. Barbara and I are going to go in and perform for the little lunchbox program.
Oh, is that right?
There. So that'll be fun,
Yeah.
Barbara has. It's just so much fun to watch her work with the children. I have to tell you one little story. She did a marathon run up at Stephen Foster's school here just before the school let out. She did 5 sessions in one day.
Oh, is that right?
3rd and 4th graders. In the midst of one of the sessions, a young man was sitting there and being very attentive, and he put his hand up and he wanted to ask a question. And Barbara said, you know, let's ask the questions at the end of the session. He said, I have to ask you something, Miss Barb. And she said, fine. He says, is it a requirement that you must suffer to sing the blues?
It's a pretty sophisticated question. What was her answer to that?
Was, she said she had to think for a moment, and she said, well, you know, the blues are often about suffering, but there are happy blues also, because the blues come from the heart either way.
Cathartic, even if it's not the happy blues.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you all, you do this program, I assume, with some sort of cooperation from the school board, from the Alachua County School Board? Or is this a gratis program that you provide?
At this moment, it's a gratis program.
Right.
We both believe that music is very important for particularly young children, because music stimulates the brain to learn in ways that if you don't have the arts and the music, the brain doesn't function. And the incredible part about it is those processes that are developed in our brain last through our adulthood with our learning processes. So we just say, hey, let's take it in. You know, if we could get help, that would be great.
Right.
But we're doing it.
Gotcha.
You know, even to the point of Barbara going to the drugstore and having the pharmacist give her 30 medicine pills or bottles and filling them full of beans so the kids have shakers.
Now, so I'm hearing this is an interactive program that she does.
Indeed.
Does she come with an iPod full of music?
Nope. It's all. She brings a couple of the guitars.
Oh, so she.
And she performs. And
nice.
With the younger people, it's often a call and response.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes using a child's name.
Is that right?
It's really interesting.
Wow, what a history lesson too.
Oh, it's yeah. I mean, she. I can't say enough good about what she's doing.
Tell me about, I know we've got such a vibrant music scene here.
Indeed.
Are you all involved in general with the many different blues musicians in this area, not just Alachua County, but, you know, this part of Florida?
You know, the blues community, just the blues community in this area is amazing. You know, I hold the second Wednesday of every month out at Simplify. I hold an acoustic blues open mic.
Oh, really?
And I've been doing it now for it's coming up 2 years, and it just amazes me the new talent that shows up.
And what night is that?
That's the second Wednesday of every month.
Every
in
month.
July, it'll be, I believe, what, July 8th, I believe, is Wednesday?
And they take their turns up at
They come in, they sign up, we go in an order, and you never know what's going to happen. You know, there is some tremendous performance. There is sometimes a train wreck, but you just never know. It's an open mic, you know.
It's all part of the blues.
It's all part of the blues, right. But the talent that shows up and is continuing to show up is just amazing. I have people coming from Jacksonville. I have people coming from Ocala. A gentleman showed up from Micanopy one evening, and he said, I haven't performed in 20 years. I said, well, you won't be able to say that when you're done, will you? And he pulled out this funky old Gibson guitar. I thought, oh my goodness, what's this going to be? And everybody went, who is this guy? He was just amazing.
Really?
Haven't seen him again.
Who was that strange man?
He's gone.
And you get a good turnout, good audience.
We do.
Good audience.
We do. You know, if we have 20, 25 people, that's a bad evening.
Really?
You know, and that room doesn't sit
Right.
that many.
That's right.
You know, and it always works very, very well.
You have to move it outside if weather permits.
Weather permits.
Now, tell me about the International Blues Challenge in Memphis. That's something near and dear to my heart, because actually the guy that's running the camera right now, Alan Yetter, who's on the communications staff, has taken part in that. He's
Indeed, he has.
fine musician in his own right.
Indeed, he is. I say that because I work with him.
So the Blues Society is the one that kind of organizes this chapter of that competition. Tell us how that works.
Our
or
competition this year is the end of August, and we hold that up at the Dirty Martini Bar up in Thornbrook, and they are very kind enough to provide the venue for us. And we send out notices to bands. We have two sections. We have the solo duo competition and we have the band competition. And the requirements are that at least one member of the ensemble is a member of the society.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
And we've extended our membership range so we can try to bring some people in from the, further out and bring them in.
So it's not Alachua County.
No.
Regional kind of thing.
It's semi-regional, only because of lack of bringing those people in from further out. There are usually 4 to 5 bands in the competition, 2 to 3 single duo acts. The winner of each category goes to Memphis, Tennessee, the last week in January, last weekend, to compete on an international level. And it is truly international. Barbara and I were fortunate enough to go up 3 years ago representing this society in the duo competition. Mark, we met people from Poland. We met people and we're good friends with people from Australia, Germany, Italy. Do you know they play the blues in Egypt?
I did not know that part.
Well, there was one band.
Well, don't all of those countries have something to sing about?
That's right.
We've all experienced.
It is an incredible. We were up there for 6 days. An incredible experience. And Barbara and I both say that it changed the way we looked at I've been in music since I was 15 years old, but it changed the way I look at the whole scene. And I think it's what comes from the blues community.
Now, is English the official language of the blues, or were the German guys or gals singing the blues in German?
They were singing in English, and it reminded me of a time when I was working a USO tour, and I was up in Thule, Greenland, up the Air Force base up there, or a base, and all the people who worked up there who were not military were from Denmark, and there was a band up there doing top 40 singing everything in English, and they had no idea what they were singing. And some of it wasn't quite correct. Some of it was rather humorous.
The emphasis was off, or
yeah. So in answer to your question about the blues, there were probably some folks there who were trying.
How many blues societies are there in the International Blues
Because
Society?
I really can't answer that question.
Okay.
It's quite extensive.
About how many people were at the festival?
Oh, thousands.
Really?
It's like the motorcycle races. Even though you're not competing, you take your motorcycle and you're there. Yeah. People walking up and down the streets with the guitars and all the street musicians. Oh, it's phenomenal. Just a phenomenal experience.
And tell me again when the pre-trial or the Gainesville.
It's the last Sunday in August, which I think is the 30th. I'm not sure of that. I should have looked at my notes.
And if you want to compete in that, you better get someone in your band on the Blues Society.
Which is no big deal. Fill out an application and give us $20. You're a member now. That's easy.
Okay. I know you all are very involved. I mean, you mentioned what you're doing at the schools and with the Hippodrome, but you do other work with other nonprofits, from what I understand. Somebody calls and they're doing a fundraiser or some sort of event.
I try to help out with fundraisers, with benefits, as much as I can, because Mark, there was a time when I needed help, and people came to me, and as I said before, Barbara and I came to Gainesville, we didn't know anyone, and the community, the music community, the art community just opened up to us.
Right.
I said, come on, let's go, and so I just want to give back.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to give back.
I had heard that, when I was talking with Alan before you came in, he mentioned the Crisis Center and Wounded Warriors and some other great organizations that you guys have helped out with.
Indeed we have. We did a wonderful thing for the Wounded Warriors. We did a benefit for one of our own a couple of weeks ago, Eddie Jacoby. Eddie's losing his eyesight. That can't happen.
Yeah.
When people can help, that can't happen. That's got to be taken care of.
Right.
And it's going to be taken care of.
I've seen that quite a bit in the local music community.
Take care of your
coming
own.
to each other's aid.
Yep.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So let's go a little bit into the structure. So I've got $20 burning a hole in my pocket, and I want to join the Blues Society.
let me talk to you about that.
That's right. You all have regular meetings, planning events. What does it involve?
We don't have a general
society?
membership meeting as
Okay.
such. There are over 150 members now, which
Really?
is great.
Yeah.
That's growing. In fact, I received 2 new membership apps yesterday. But what we try to do, the 3rd Sunday of every month, we have an electric jam over at the Dirty Bar over in Thornbrook.
Right.
Okay, and it is well attended by members and fans of the blues and musicians of members. Again, it'd be nice if a band who comes in for the, there's some membership represented there.
Sure.
But this is where we can meet each other. This is where we can share experiences with each other. This is where we have a membership who follows everything that the society does, and always willing to help. So we have that going on. We're trying to get more workshops to get some action happening there.
Right.
And that's coming about. It was just a matter of really stepping forward and making it work. We have some new members on the board who are just, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. So.
And do you have a website that folks?
We have
can
a
go to?
beautiful
Do
website.
you?
Thanks to Cassie Keenum.
Okay.
Thank you, Cassie. It's a beautiful website. She just put it together the past couple months, and it's growing. Probably she's doing something as we speak.
Can you enroll or join the society online, or?
Yes, you can.
And
You can join online, ncfblues.org.
excellent.
And we also have a newly designed newsletter that is hooked directly into the website, hooked directly into our Facebook page.
That was going to be my next question. Are
we
you
have
on Facebook?
We have a Facebook page. We have a blog on the website that you can sign into and talk about things, how you feel about music and stuff, and we get some interaction happening there. It's all growing. All the bands who are members can post their show dates.
Oh, actually, so you've got a calendar of
We have a
events?
calendar. If you want to see what's happening with the blues, you can go on the calendar and check out what's going on. It isn't just in Gainesville and Alachua County. I mean, a lot of these bands are working, well, like Little Mike and Tornadoes, and Mike goes to Europe.
Right.
So we have some bluesmen in town.
Yeah, I mean, is Little Jake a member of the society?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he certainly does some blues in his
Goodness
show.
gracious. In fact, they hosted the jam last night.
That's Little Jake and the Soul Searchers.
That is
for those
right.
who haven't been there.
And you got to see them.
We've got some amazing musicians here.
Oh, we have an incredible amount of very talented musicians in this town. This town has a history of incredible musicians, some of which have left, some have come back. Every time I go out somewhere, I hear someone. I go, "Who in the world is that?"
Yeah.
Jamie Christie, who's that? This town's amazing.
Pete Carnes is a pretty good player too, isn't he?
He's not too bad. I mean, for a Hall of Famer,
That's right.
He's not too bad.
Yeah, I urge people to get out and take advantage of what we have here locally.
We have so much.
Yeah.
And not just the music, all the arts.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this town. We have we have the Hippodrome. We have how many other theatrical groups in town?
Right.
The visual arts. Look what we have.
Yeah.
And the music. And what kind of music do you want to hear tonight? We can go find it.
Yeah.
It isn't just blues.
That's right.
It's all here.
Yeah.
It's all here. And honestly, Mark, I think the whole thing is beginning to grow again. The whole thing is beginning to grow again.
I'm so happy that you know, Alachua County is able to support that too. We get the funding from the bed tax comes in from people that are visiting Alachua County, and they spend the night in a hotel and they pay a little tax on that. So the good news is all of those dollars come from visitors. They're not taken out of our local taxes. And you know, that kind of destination enhancement where the Visitor and Convention Bureau helps organizations with getting the word out and marketing their products, it just starts to feed on itself and grow the bed tax. And so I'm so happy that the County Commission is able to help in that way.
Yes, you know, and if I may throw a little plug in, one thing I want to put a plug in that I think is really beginning to help and is going to help even more is the 352art.org. There, I've noticed on the Facebook page, they're putting up posts of all the arts that are happening, not just the visual, but the music activity and things. And I think that's going to really.
And that's being driven by the Cultural Affairs Board that I know you're a member of now.
Indeed.
We could do a whole nother show on,
on
just your activities there.
Well, you know, I just think, well, first of all, you know, Russell Etling is the head of that, and he is just an incredible individual. And what he's already done for Gainesville, whether people are aware of it or not. And his snowball is just really beginning to roll.
Yeah.
But I do believe 352 Arts is really going to contribute to our total art community.
Mark, thank you so much for,
My pleasure.
for joining me. It's so fascinating to hear about what you're doing, and
thank you.
You know, I'm a big admirer of your talent.
Thank you. You're very kind.
And thanks again.
Pleasure.
We used to write letters to each other a lot, and it was intimidating to talk to him sometimes because he just seemed so isolated by himself.
She started talking about how she wishes that her life was over and she wishes that she was never born.
So I knew he had depression, but I didn't know it was that far.
Said something to me about killing himself.
Tell somebody, tell an adult, a counselor, parent, whatever.
You have to try and help them get help.
You have to take it seriously. You can't assume that they're just saying it because the risk is too great.
It's a hard situation because you do risk making that person very angry and losing their friendship.
It would have been horrible for me if she never talked to me again, but I'd live with it because I know she'd be alive.
Definitely worth getting help, even if you think you're going to lose a friendship, because it's better to lose the friendship than the actual friend.
Dogs can't flush, so wherever they do their business, scoop the poop, bag it, and trash it. Clean creeks, clean yards, clean paws. A message from the Gainesville Clean Water Partnership.